All right, so get this. Microsoft is really shaking things up with this thing called Copilot Wave 2. It's like they took AI and wove it into like all the Microsoft apps.
Yeah.
Like literally everything. Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook.
Everything you use every day.
Exactly. And we're going to like dive deep into what all that means, like especially for someone who uses these apps all the time.
Well, it really is a pretty big deal. It's not just like tacking on a couple new features. It's like they're changing the whole foundation of how these tools work by putting AI right there in the middle of it.
Yeah, like, is this the end of like those late nights wrestling with spreadsheets? Tell me more. Like, what's the deal with Excel?
Okay, so imagine this, right? You have Copilot right in Excel, and it's basically like having your own personal data analyst on call. Like 24/7, it can analyze like years of data,
Wow.
generate charts, even write Python code for you.
Wait, Python code, so even if I'm not a coder, I can still like use those powerful analysis tools.
Exactly. It's like it unlocks all that potential that,
Yeah.
maybe seemed intimidating before,
That's a game changer, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And in the video, they were showing someone using Copilot in Excel, and they were analyzing like customer feedback, and it actually helped them find a trend of complaints about a product's charging speed.
Right. And that kind of insight,
Like, that is so valuable.
that is gold. And think about it. This isn't just limited to, one spreadsheet or one data source. It can pull from all kinds of places like Salesforce, SAP, internal systems. It can give you a complete view.
Okay, that's wild. But let's move on to something that I think everybody has an opinion on, PowerPoint. Can AI actually like make PowerPoint less painful?
I think it just might. Copilot in PowerPoint now, this is crazy, can like draft entire presentations for you. And it has speaker notes, visuals, the whole 9 yards. And it uses your company's branding.
Wait, hold on. So it's automatically on brand.
Yep.
Okay, that alone is like hours of back and forth with the design team gone.
I know, right? It streamlines everything. And if you need to change something, you just tell Copilot what to add or change.
Yeah.
And boom, it just adapts instantly.
It's like having a mind-reading design partner.
Right. And that frees you up to actually focus on like the important stuff.
Yeah.
Your story, your message,
Absolutely. Okay, so we have to talk about email. It's like the monster in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Can Copilot do anything to tame that beast?
Okay, imagine this. Copilot in Outlook is like your AI inbox manager.
Okay.
It prioritizes your emails. And get this, it does it based on your role, your team, your most important contacts. So no more wasting time sifting through like hundreds of messages every morning.
No more like frantically searching for that one email from a client. That's huge.
It is. And it's not just about prioritizing either. Like, it analyzes the content, it understands urgency, it gets the context. So it can like suggest actions, like remind you to follow up on something or highlight a deadline that's coming up.
So it's like it takes all those to-dos out of your head, puts them right there where you need them. I love that. Okay, speaking of staying on top of things, what about Teams? We've all had those meetings where you totally zone out and miss something important. Can Copilot help with that?
Oh, absolutely. Copilot in Teams. This is big. It can transcribe meetings.
Okay.
And it analyzes the chat so, you don't miss those important questions that maybe get buried. And it even summarizes like the key decisions and takeaways.
So no more, wait, what did I miss? After every meeting.
Exactly.
That's, especially with remote work, that is huge.
I know it's all about keeping everyone in the loop, making sure everyone's on the same page.
Absolutely. Okay, last one I got to ask about. OneDrive. Like, I am so guilty of having a million versions of the same file everywhere. Can Copilot bring some order to my chaos?
Okay, so Copilot in OneDrive, think of it as your intelligent file manager. Okay. It can compare different versions of a document and actually highlight the changes for you. No more opening a million files to find the right one.
In the video they showed, Copilot helps someone find the absolute newest product specs right before a client meeting. Talk about a lifesaver.
Oh, absolutely. And that's just one example. It can do so much more. It can summarize documents, answer questions about the content, even connect related information from other files in your OneDrive.
So you're saying it's like turning OneDrive into an actual searchable knowledge base.
Exactly. It really makes you realize how powerful these everyday tools can be,
Yeah, and it's like they're not even done yet, right?
Yeah.
We talked about all these individual apps, but then there's this whole other level, the Copilot agents.
Right.
So what are these agents exactly, and what makes them so different?
Okay. So this is where it gets really cool. Imagine a whole team of AI specialists, right? but they're working for you in the background, constantly like pulling information from all your systems.
Okay.
Automating tasks, even like making decisions based on all that data. That's essentially what these Copilot agents are designed to do.
Wow. Okay, that's kind of intimidating.
Yeah.
Like, how much technical expertise do you even need to, like, make
Yeah.
one of these agents?
That's the thing, you really don't need to be a coder at all. Like, Microsoft made this surprisingly user-friendly.
Yep.
It's more like you tell the agent what you want it to do, you know, connect it to the right data sources,
All right.
and then basically just let it do its thing.
So for someone like me who, like, barely knows how to use all the features in SharePoint,
Yeah.
could this, like, actually make SharePoint useful for me?
Exactly, because with these Copilot agents, SharePoint isn't just a static place to store files anymore. You know, it's like it turns into this dynamic knowledge base.
Oh.
Like, imagine you can just ask SharePoint a question. Let's say, what were our sales figures for last year, Q3?
Right.
And it just pulls up all the data instantly. Maybe it even makes some charts, gives you a nice little summary. How cool is that?
No more, like, digging through folders for, like, 3 hours,
Exactly.
trying to remember where I saved that thing.
And it's not just finding stuff either. Remember in the video, the example with the field technician?
Yeah.
He was using a Copilot agent to help him like troubleshoot a problem. That agent could be pulling from product specs, repair history, even real-time data from sensors, all to like guide the technician towards a solution.
It's like having the entire company's, like, knowledge base in your pocket.
Precisely. And because it can integrate with other systems like Dynamics 365, it can actually take action, you know, based on all that information it finds. So that same agent that's helping the technician, it could like automatically order a replacement part or update the customer service ticket,
Oh, wow.
even notify the team back at headquarters.
So it's automating, like, whole workflows.
Yeah, not just like individual tasks.
Right.
And that's where the huge potential is, you know, for saving time, saving money, even making employees happier, you know, because who wants to do those repetitive tasks all day long? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
This frees everyone up to be more creative, more strategic.
It's giving me hope that maybe one day I can, like, log off at a reasonable hour and, like, not think about work until the next morning.
I know, right? That's
Yeah.
the dream.
Yeah.
That's the promise of this technology. Of course, there are some challenges, you know? We have to be realistic.
Right.
But the potential is definitely there. It's exciting. It's a big deal.
It's like, it almost feels like we're on the verge of, like a whole new world of work.
Yeah, for sure.
But with all this new tech, especially something this powerful, like, I don't know, it's kind of like,
yeah.
it makes you think about the bigger picture, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. The big question is like, how is this all going to actually change how we work in the long run, right?
Right.
Like, is it going to make us more efficient? Will we actually have time for, you know, those higher level tasks? Or are we going to run into like a whole new set of problems that we haven't even thought of yet?
It's kind of like opening Pandora's box, right? We're unleashing all this crazy potential, but, like, are we ready for the consequences?
Right, exactly. And that's why we need to be having these conversations about like responsible AI, right? How do we make sure we're using it ethically? You know, what about bias in the data, all that stuff?
Yeah, it's huge. And what about us? Like, how do we as, you know, humans adapt to working in a world where AI is, like, everywhere? What skills do we need?
It's about finding that balance, right? Using AI to like boost our own abilities, not replace us entirely. We need to focus on the things that make us human, like creativity, critical thinking,
Right.
emotional intelligence. These are the things that AI can't replicate, at least not yet.
So it's not just learning how to use the tools, it's like rethinking what it means to work, period.
Exactly. And that requires a real shift in mindset, not just from individuals, but from organizations, from society as a whole, you know?
This has been, I don't know, a real eye-opener, this whole deep dive. It seems like Microsoft is, like, all in on this AI future with Copilot Wave 2. I don't know, what stands out to you as, like, the most compelling part of all of this?
For me, it's the potential for democratization. Think about it. Anyone, regardless of their tech skills, could use these tools to analyze data, automate tasks, make smarter decisions. That's powerful stuff.
It's like giving everyone superpowers. But as we've been talking about, like, with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Right.
What's your, I guess, final thought for our listeners as they're, you know, processing all of this?
I would say stay curious, stay informed, but most importantly, stay engaged in this conversation. This isn't something that's just happening to us. This is something we're all creating together.
Love it. Well, that's it for today's deep dive into Microsoft's Copilot Wave 2. We covered a lot, the features, the potential impact, the big questions, but, like, this is really just the beginning, right? So keep exploring,